Hello, everybody. Welcome to this month's LinkedIn. It's Social Selling Success webinar and also how to use LinkedIn for business. We'll get started here in literally a couple of seconds. I've got Facebook Live going. I've got Periscope going, and this will be going in a second as soon as I get my screen ready to share. And let's make sure that everything is good here and present to everyone. Yep, give me a sec here. Cancel that. There we are. Looks like it is probably working right now. And I want to thank everyone for showing up. Literally, we got about 30 seconds before we get going on this. And just got to make sure that everything is on the other systems. We got Facebook Live going. Yep. And I have no idea how many people are on that, but we'll soon see people showing up on that one. People on Facebook Live, sorry, I've got a bit of a screen back here. It's to put some light on and everything like that. So I got Scott Reeves, I got Todd Harder, I got Raheem. Thanks for showing up, guys. I'll be checking periodically as we go through this. Scott, I saw your picture in Seattle this weekend. Lucky you guys. I'll be down in Scottsdale. We'll be down soon, hopefully, but maybe not be till Christmas time. We'll see you then. Okay, doke. I'm going to get started on this. So this is 5 ways to generate business on LinkedIn, and away we go. So first thing is that if you have any questions, I'm not checking the live. Well, I've got the live chat open. If people ask a question, they can ask it in there. And that's on the landing page that people showed up at. Anyone else, you can always ask questions after the fact. You can text them to me or text them to me during this broadcast. The number to text questions to is 403-630-1243, and that will get the questions directly to me. This will be about half an hour, maybe 25 minutes, and we'll go from there. So why listen to me? I always tell people I walk the walk. So this is John Cleese doing his silly walk during a Monty Python episode. But literally, I use LinkedIn every day to generate sales opportunities for me. And just as proof in the pudding, I used to work for a company based out of New York City. And I track my results against the other sales reps in my organization. And if you take a look, that circle that's on this picture here is literally, it's my activity. And if we take the emails out, I just want to focus on 10 times more meetings and 10 times more WebExes or webinars that I did. How I did that was mostly through LinkedIn. And LinkedIn was literally leveraging LinkedIn to get introductions into organizations where I was doing business. And so when I compared myself against the other reps, I was booking 10 times more meetings, getting 30 times more online demos of the software for this company. And I did it in about half the time of the other sales reps. So I'm going to assume the other sales reps were working probably like 40 hours a week. I was doing this at about 20 hours a week, and had a lot of downtime for myself as well. So there we go. Let's see here. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your profile. So there's 5 ways to generate business on LinkedIn. So what I'm trying to do is show you how to kind of attract business into yourself, but also what to do when people come in, look at your profile, and a whole bunch of different things. So first thing you need to know is that 50% of B2B or business-to-business buyers and 84% of C-level business-to-business buyers leverage LinkedIn to find solutions for their products, or find products or service to provide a solution to the problem that they have. If your profile is not filled out in full, literally half of those people will discount you right off the bat and not even look at your profile. So I'm just going to go through and talk about just some little stats as well when we look at this. So if you're leveraging LinkedIn, you're using what I would deem to be, you're starting to get down the path of social selling. So 76% of B2B buyers, business buyers, prefer to work with recommendations. So remember that. That'll come up a little bit later in this webcast here. Buyers who use social media spend 84% more per purchase. So the people that you're trying to attract spend more because they're on, well, it's just a stat that correlates to social media. Social buyers make 61% more purchases. Social selling leaders, so people that are leveraging LinkedIn and other social media outlets such as Facebook or anything else like that, have 45% more opportunities in their pipeline, and they also are 51% more likely to hit their quota. And salespeople who reach out with valuable insights, so basically sending educational pieces to people that they're connected to on LinkedIn, prospects that they're connected to on LinkedIn, are 5 times more likely to get a response than those that reach out cold. Now, here's the other thing that I didn't put in there on this, is that B2B buyers and C-level B2B buyers, when you're reaching out with insights and valuable information on a consistent basis, you're top of mind for them. Typically, you're going to be able to book appointments with them, figure out what their sales cycle is. And when they're ready to buy, a stat from LinkedIn says that 60% of the time it goes to the people that are doing that sort of stuff. And last but not least, 78% of salespeople who use social selling process outperform their peers. So what are we going to do? I just want to talk really quickly about what you do with your profile to make things work better. And so first off, you need to have a picture. A picture will get you 11 times more views than people that don't have a picture. Also, remember that stat that, if your profile is not filled out correctly, then 50% of the people don't even look at you. And why I say no picture, 50% less views, is that if you show up in a LinkedIn search and you don't have a picture on your profile, then most chances are that buyer is going to skip right over you. The other thing too is that people that actually have a subscription account with LinkedIn generate 15 times more views of their profile. So there's a reason right there to have a subscription account. One of the things that I look at is that the reason why I think people with a subscription account get more views is because they're actually paying for an account. They're on LinkedIn. They're more active. They've probably got their profile filled out because they've got money in it. And that's my personal belief on that one. Education will get you 10 times more views if you put something in the education section. And also your featured skills and endorsements. It's a section in LinkedIn, and you'll get 13 times more views. So I gave this presentation last night, and the reason why, and this prompted me to remember this, is that the reason why you'll get 13 times more views is that, and I'll give you an example. So I have an accounts payable and accounts receivable software company, and we tie into QuickBooks. And when I'm going around looking in different cities across North America for anyone that has QuickBooks in their profile, I'll search QuickBooks and say Phoenix or something like that. A lot of times people's profiles will pop up, and I'll look at their profile and go like, where in the world is anything on QuickBooks? So you have to do a kind of a search of their profile. And oftentimes it's showing up in this featured skills and endorsements. So it's an excellent way for you to get found specifically to what your skill set is. And you could put 50 different skills in here. And when you put those skills in, you are going to get found. So I would highly recommend think about different skills that you have, and then put them into this skill set area down here, and you'll get found more often. The other thing too is if you have more than one job or experience, you'll get 12 times more views as well. So once again, a completed profile will help you generate up to 15 times more views of your profile. That's great, but here's something. Once people get to your profile, you have to give them a reason to connect with you and to contact you. So one of the things that I do is right below your name, you have a tagline. And most of the times what LinkedIn does is they grab your most recent position and they put it in there. You can overwrite that. So in the upper right-hand corner here, there's a little pencil. If you can see where I'm circling around it right now, when you click on that, it gives you the ability to edit your profile. Now, when you edit your profile, you can put something in here. And here's kind of the what I've got as the kind of the way to do this is, if you read mine, it says your SMB sales and marketing go-to person who can generate up to 10 times more sales leads. Ask me how. So the market I serve, small and medium businesses. Who I am, a sales and marketing go-to person. What can I do? Generate up to 10 times more sales leads, and a call to action. Ask me how. So that's, just, the market you serve, who you are, your results, and then call to action is what you can do in here. The other thing I do is just down in the summary section, first line, I put my phone number and my email address. Now, there's a reason behind this. Why I do this is that line there is pulled into your mobile profile. And it's really, when someone finds you on a mobile search, sometimes it's tough to find that phone number or a way to get a hold of you. So I give it right up front here so that people can figure out what my phone number is if they want to reach out to me. Why is that important? So about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I guess is the last information I had on this. Yeah, about 2 years ago. There was 55 million mobile visitors to LinkedIn on a quarterly basis, unique visitors. And it represented about 55% of all the unique traffic to LinkedIn. So if you look at this growth chart, it's going up and up and up and up. What I predicted by 2013, there'd probably be about 72 million unique visitors showing up because it was growing at about 31%. So this is, I mean, by now, that was the last year when I put that stat in, it's Q3 2017. I mean, that number is way higher now. So people are using the mobile device, iPad, iPhone, whatever it is, to get to find people online. So make sure that your profile, when you pull it together, take a look at your mobile profile and see how it looks and see if it makes sense and see if there's ways for people to get a hold of you. So tips, just on this first section, make sure your profile is filled out 100%. Make sure you got a picture in there, right? So that's, to get those 50% of the B2B buyers that are going to LinkedIn to try to find a product or service to help them with their solution, or those 84% of B2B, C-level B2B buyers, they're going to see you if your profile is filled out and it's compelling profile. Think of your profile from the standpoint of your potential client, not from your standpoint. Don't use LinkedIn as a resume unless you're trying to find a job. But if you're using it as a means to generate business, think of it in the terms of your clients and the results that you can get for them. You can use specific keywords to get found. And what do I mean by that? In my summary section, in my experience section, one of the things that I do is I often reference Calgary sales and marketing. And the reason being is because I do sales and marketing for firms. I used to, I don't as much anymore, but anyways, neither here nor there. But that is how you get found doing that stuff. And then look at your profile on a mobile phone, make any changes, and also give multiple ways for people to contact you. So once again, you saw that first line on my profile has my phone number and my email address. Further on down, it says contact me at, and I put my contact information in there. And then in my work experience, I put my contact information in there as well. So, and then on top of it, when you fill out your profile, you have the ability to put in a phone number and also an email address or multiple email addresses for people to get a hold of you. So make sure that you have multiple ways for people to get a hold of you. Now, second tip is probably one of the best tips that you can use to generate business on LinkedIn. I have so many people come to me and they say, "Hey, how do I generate business on LinkedIn?" And this thing, I teach this class called the Digital Referral on LinkedIn. And there's companies that pay me lots of money to teach this to their employees. I've distilled this down into like 5 or 6 slides to give you the basic essence of what you have to do. So first thing is, it's not really, it's who you know, but it's who you know and who they know that is going to help you out on LinkedIn. And why do I say that? So in this case, I'm looking up vice president sales or VP sales in Calgary, where I live. And right now there's literally, I only have 16 people that I'm connected to in Calgary that are VPs of sales. When I put, and that's at my first level, my second level, which are people that are connected to people that I'm connected to, when I add them in, it goes from 16 to 294. That's an 18-fold increase. Now, here is the easiest way to generate sales leads. So let's say I want to meet this Byron Blair. If you go to Byron's profile, if he comes up in the search results, I go into here, I look down in the highlights, and it's going to say, do I have any mutual connections with him? So what I do is when I click on this mutual connections, it brings up Byron's connections that I'm connected to. And I could go through here and find people that I could get an introduction from into Byron. And here is a email I send out. So don't send this out through LinkedIn's messenger service, because a lot of times people won't look at their messages in LinkedIn. Get their email address. And how you get their email address. So your connection's email address, when you go to their profile, if you don't have it, go over to the right-hand side and it's got their contact information. There's a down arrow. Click that down arrow. It'll open up and it'll give you that person's email address. So then what you do, send them an email. And here's how I do it is I put a subject line, can you help me out? It says, hello, hope all is well. I'm hoping you can help me out. I'm taking a new product solution, whatever it is, to different companies right now. Hopefully you can help me by making an introduction to this person from this company. I would say, I see that you're connected to them on LinkedIn. The solution, my solution, or the solution, whatever it is, helps companies like whatever's company by doing this. And you put a benefit in there. Do you know this person well enough to introduce me? If so, here's an intro you can use. And then what I do is I write this intro. And it says subject line, introduction to Chris Hamilton. And the email body is hello. And they put the person's first name in that you're trying to get introduced to. A friend of mine reached out to me to see if I could introduce the two of you. His name is Chris Hamilton. I've known him for a while, or he's a business acquaintance, or whatever it is. Chris has a product that helps companies reduce costs, increase revenue. He tells me that companies can typically increase their revenue by whatever percent, or reduce costs by whatever percent, or whatever your benefit is in there. He was hoping to get an introduction, and I wanted to check with you first before connecting the two of you. Do you mind if I connect the two of you? Regards, and then put the person's name in. Now, what you do is then you send that to your connection on LinkedIn, and through email, by the way, not through LinkedIn, by the way. And the reason why you want to do this is because it will dramatically increase the results that you can get by getting connected. So first of all, this is a stat I mentioned earlier. It's 76% of B2B buyers prefer to work with recommendations. So what you're doing is you're getting someone to refer you into somewhere, right? Or it's kind of recommending them into you. Only 11% of salespeople have a formalized sales process, yet it results in 65% of all sales. So basically, referral processes result in 65% of all sales. Those two stats come from the Word of Mouth Marketing Association. When you apply these together, the 11% going after 65% versus the 89% going after 35% is 15 times greater than those that don't ask for referrals. So that's why when you look at that social selling information where their pipeline is 50% higher, they close more business. That's the reason why, is because people are using LinkedIn to get referrals into other people. Now, referrals also close at double the rate, typically spend 14% more. They also close in about a quarter of the time compared to the average sales cycle. And the reason being is because you're leveraging someone else's trust to get in the door. You're also able to book 2 to 4 times more meetings with qualified buyers. And if you start putting all these little levers together, then literally what you're doing is you're increasing your likelihood of getting more sales by about 120-fold. And now I'm a realist. I know that not everyone's going to go from selling, say, like $1 to selling $120 for every $1 that they've sold before. But you might be able to get a 5-fold increase, a 10-fold increase just by putting something like this in place and leveraging this referral process through LinkedIn. Now, here's my results, just so you can see what it is. Roughly 40% of the people that I reach out to for an introduction will make that introduction. Of those, about 50% of the time, I end up in an engagement of some sort, which is on a phone call, face-to-face meeting, or an email. So when I look at that overall engagement, it's a 20% on the people that I send it out on. Cold calling, according to a Baylor University study and also IBM, Baylor says it has a success rate of about 0.3% of the time. IBM has something that says cold calling works about 2% of the time. This approach is far less stressful, and it will also generate up to 66 times greater results. So I'll tell you what, this process that I just laid out to you very quickly has generated millions of dollars of sales for me, and has put a lot of money in my pocket just by doing this. And I do this every single day, and it works. I would highly recommend it. Just try it. And if you're unclear on this, feel free to reach out to me. I've got my contact information coming up at the back end here, and I can talk to you a little bit about that and point you in the right direction. Now we're on to tip number 3, which is something that is very few people know about this, but it's a great way to get in front of people. So when you search on LinkedIn under specific people, one of the things that you're going to see is there's this little yellow or golden LinkedIn symbol that shows up beside people's profiles. That means that they have a premium account. So they have a paid for account. They're paying for a subscription. Depending on how these people have set up their profile, they will accept InMails. So InMail is this little thing down here. It's like sending a message to a person on LinkedIn. And how you find out if you can send it for free, and I say about 70% of the time people have it set up so that these people that have a premium account can receive these InMails, is literally you just click on this InMail once you see that person, golden LinkedIn symbol beside their profile. And when you go down here, you're going to see it says free message. If it's not, it'll say you need 1 credit or you need to pay for this. But like I say, about 70% of the time, it ends up saying a free message. Now, what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't reach out to, say, Peter here and say, hey, Peter, I see that you're in VP of sales and marketing at this company, and I got a fantastic product and it does this and it's so cool and da-da-da. I'm going to default back to, if you reach out with, it's one of the stats I talked to earlier, if you reach out with relevant information to individuals, it's going to make their life easier. So it's got to be some form of an education piece for them or whatever it is. If you reach out that way, you're going to get much more success. So how I do it is I created a 10-part course, and I was going after specifically sales managers and vice presidents of sales of companies. And I created a quick video program. It was about half an hour long on using LinkedIn for sales managers and how they can parlay this to their sales team and get more success. And I put a price on this of $299, and I did this through a website called teachable.com. And you can set up a free account on Teachable, and you can create courses like this for free. And then what I did was I made it 0 cost. I put a coupon against it, and I put a 0 cost against this. And I sent out, I had my assistant in the Philippines go through all the major 250 largest metropolitan centers in North America and send this out to anyone that had this premium account here. And what happened was people that signed up for the course obviously were interested. And then what I did was I reached out to them and I would connect with them on LinkedIn, and I started to build a relationship, and I started doing sales with people this way. So it's a great way to generate sales. Now, here's the scoop. Each one of these InMails, if you send them, and they cost $11, or you get a certain amount that comes with a premium account, but normally they're $11 each. My assistant was sending out anywhere from 10 to 30 of these a day. So what she was doing is literally over the course of a month, I was getting about $2,000 to $6,000 in free InMails or marketing each month by getting her to do this. And it took her all of about maybe half an hour a day to send out roughly 20 each time, because it was cookie cutter and it kept going out to these people. Now, here's some tips as it relates to this, leveraging this tactic, is always approach someone with something of value. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a course like I had. It could be a white paper. It could be, we've got a webinar, it might be of interest to you, all this interesting stuff, right? You just send something out that's of value to that person. In this case, if you're sending it out and it's of value, if you get a webinar, include the link to the webinar sign up, and then you'll see people will sign up, and then they get on your marketing list, which is a great way to get that stuff. Keep it short. My messages that went out were saying, hey, I know that people struggle, or sales managers struggle with getting their sales force to leverage LinkedIn. And, the stats are, work in the favor of reps that use this. I've created a course to kind of demystify this. If you're interested, you can go find it here. There's a little bit of information on that course page. Boom, boom, boom. Very short, kept it to the point. Now, the other thing too is that when you're reaching out to people like, say, Peter here, what I did was I tracked these contents or my assistant tracked these people in a Google spreadsheet. And the reason being is because they have a free account. You can send things to them over and over and over again. Now, I wouldn't spam somebody, but I would set something up so that every couple of months or every 3 months, you send something of value to this person. And then they're going to get to know who you are. And then you can reach out, try to connect with them on LinkedIn, all that good stuff. It's just, great little tactic that you can use. Now, here's another one that's very similar to this. And I'm using Peter again. Now, and this is using LinkedIn group InMails. So if you're connected to someone on LinkedIn and you're part of a mutual group, then what you can do is you can reach out to different people through those groups. And so in this case, I'm connected to the oil and gas industry people and young oil and gas professionals. What I do is I go into LinkedIn. Across the top bar, there's a thing that says work. Click on that. It says groups. Click on the groups. Then what it does is it brings up your groups. Click on my groups, and you can search on the group that you're connected to with this person here. So in this case, I'm searching on young oil and gas. So I put oil in there. I got young oil and gas professionals. When I click on young oil and gas professionals, what it does is it brings up the group. When you click on the members, it brings up a page where you can search on the members. So you start putting the person's name in here and they pop up. When you hover over their name, what happens is a little envelope pops up. When you click on that envelope, what happens is it allows you to send a message to that person directly, as long as you're part of the same group. But the fact is you only get 15 of these a month. So make sure you choose wisely who you're reaching out to on a monthly basis. Now, same thing applies with this. In this case, I would provide something of value, keep it short, and see if this person takes you up on that offer, and then start to build a relationship with them as well. So that's one of the things. Now, the other thing you can do that I found of interest is another way to approach contacts is when you're in groups, people ask questions in these groups. So for example, this RC Sachs has said, it's been a while since I've used Peachtree Sage accounting program. Does anyone know of a class preferably on Long Island? So if I did Sage accounting training on Long Island, what I would do is I would go into the group we're part of, which is Bookkeepers Club. Click on here, type in the name, and there's RC stuff. I would go click on that, and I reach out to RC and say, RC, I saw your question on LinkedIn. Just so I'd let you know, my company offers training. If you want some more information, you can reach out to me at this phone number or email address. Here's a link that you can go to our site to find out more information on this as well. And that's a way that you can go through LinkedIn and find potential opportunities as well. Now, last one we're on is more keeping in contact with people. So LinkedIn will send you notifications to tell people about their birthdays, anniversaries, and new jobs. And when it comes to birthdays, I usually jump on my mobile phone and I just click happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to all these people. When it comes to new jobs and people celebrating work anniversaries, a little bit different. When you start a new job or you start or you're on a work anniversary, it's a great opportunity for you to reach out. So here's, for example, by doing this, at least with birthdays, anniversaries, and new jobs, you're going to be able to reach out to people at least a couple of times a year, because you have to put your birthday in on LinkedIn, and you have to put your current job in. It'll pop up. It'll notify you. If someone changes a job, then you know what? There's 3 times or more a year that you're going to see them. Now, when it comes to new jobs, add a personalized message like congratulations on the new job. And this will only work in certain circumstances, business owners, salespeople, stuff like that. People that are trying to drive business. Congratulate them on their job. Let me know what is an ideal client, what an ideal client is, and what you do. Eyes open for you, right? You can do the same thing for someone who's got a work anniversary. Hey, congrats on the work anniversary. Just let me know who an ideal client is and what you do, and I'll keep my eyes open for you as well. So this is a great opportunity to do this. And I've done this quite a bit. And people often say, hey, thanks, Chris. Clients are like this in this area, blah, blah, blah. And they come back and they say, hey, Chris, what do you do? How can I help you out? Right? So it's that law of reciprocity that happens here. So you know what? We've come to the end. I've got a couple of things I got to just talk about really quickly here. I do have another webinar coming up on October 17th at 9 a.m. So it's coming up just shy of 2 weeks here. It's about learning how to use LinkedIn to generate sales leads and close sales. So I've got a process that's outside of the stuff I've talked to here that I use that helps me keep in contact with my LinkedIn connections and also provide value and close more business with them, and also get sales opportunities sent my way. So this is on Tuesday, October 17th at 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time where I am. Literally what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to identify prospects on LinkedIn that your competition don't even know about. I'm going to show you how to approach LinkedIn prospects correctly and how to connect with them. You're going to learn what you have to do to get 5 times greater response rate from your prospects and how to close business 60% of the time with them. And I'm going to show you how to automate this whole process. And literally the time savings just on doing this is unbelievable. So Chris McKenzie, hey buddy, where did you find the assistant? So I used my buddy, my business partner, actually John Leishman had a company or has a company called Tursa Group where he did that. But another place where you can go is Upwork. Go to upwork.com and you can find assistants there to do stuff for you as well. And they'll bid on that. By the way, if you want to go to this webinar, go to bit.ly/OCT17_9 AM and you'll be able to register. I got quite a few people registered on this one right now, which is great. So it'll be awesome. Last but not least, I'll tell you what, I went through a lot of info. Cheers, Chris, too. I went through a lot of info on this. I'm just going to check really quick and see if I got any questions. Nope, no questions there. Good. I went through a lot of information. You know what? So one thing I want to talk to you about is I've created an offer. It's a monthly LinkedIn. It's a monthly subscription site that I've created with a ton of content on how to use LinkedIn correctly to generate sales leads. So in this, I've got my LinkedIn social selling course. I've got a LinkedIn social selling playbook for sales managers, the ones that you saw that had a $300 price tag against it. I've got top 20 LinkedIn tips and tricks for generating sales leads and prospects, how to nurture your leads. So many different things. I got tons of webinar replays. I've got tons of content sitting up here. I put up content monthly into this site. There's actually over 40 hours of content on this site now. So, and it's all broken out into unique individual sections so that you can go through and teach yourself how to use LinkedIn correctly. What you're going to learn, literally, you're going to learn tons of LinkedIn tips and tricks to land qualified meetings. So once again, when you take a look back at, I was generating 10 times more meetings, 30 times more online webinars. Think about the impact in your business if you could tenfold what you're doing today. And I'll tell you, in this membership site, you will learn so much on how to actually fire on all cylinders, and not only that, turbocharge it and put nitrogen in there. You're going to show you some of the best ways to generate sales leads from LinkedIn. Like the 4 that I put up here today, or the 5 that I put up here today, that's just scratching the surface. Like I've got one course that shows you 20 different ways. And in fact, there's another 10 on top of it that I threw in that course as well. I'm going to show you how to get found by B2B buyers a lot better on LinkedIn and some of the things you have to do. I'm also going to show you how to get 15 times more sales leads from qualified prospects that are in buy mode, and much, much more. In this, you're also going to get access to any of my future courses and books that I put out, and any content or anything that I'm putting together. And typically this course is now US dollars, even though I'm in Canada, $39 a month. For anyone that goes through this webinar, what I do is we make this $19 a month for people to get in. Current value, literally it's about $1,500. It's probably closer to about $2,000 right now. It increases at probably about $100 to $500 a month in the courses that I pull together that I put in there. So it just continually adds more and more value. So basically, if you had to buy all these courses, you'd be spending over $2,000 just to get it. And I'm allowing you to get it for $19. Now, not only that, am I allowing you to get it for $19? There's something else. I'll talk about that in a sec here. It's got a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you pay $19, 30 days later, if you're not satisfied, you can quit anytime and get your money back. And here's how nice I am. I've made that content completely downloadable in there. So, I mean, you know what? You can rip me off. It's my rip me off offer as well. But I think what happens is I tell people that the $19 that you spend, you'll see the value in that. You'll want to stay on so that you can get more and more content. So tell you what, take action now. Long story short, look, if you can get 10 new qualified meetings a week, or at least get an email thread going or a phone call going or something, you get 50% of these into a funnel. So like literally pre-qualified, you get a lot more opportunities. You get 50% of the funnel, 30% close rate, which is totally, to me, low. You're getting 78 more sales a year. Think about this. I look at this from, if I was a realtor following some of this stuff, if I could close 78 more home sales a year, I would be freaking happy, giving myself high fives and group hugs all the way around, because that stuff, it works, right? You can generate business. Just ridiculous. $19 a month. Can I say it any plainer? By the way, the average sales rep in Canada makes $30 per hour. My monthly plan is $19 per month. And that price, if you sign up, will never go up. Literally, if you're working the first 59 minutes that you work in Canada, if you're from Canada, if you're from outside, whatever, you got to do the calculation yourself. This course is paid for. And if you want to get to it, here's the scoop. Go to bit.ly/LinkedIn_membership_site. And that will get you to my, that'll get you to the membership site to sign up. 30-day money-back guarantee, $2,000 plus of content sitting in there. Tell you what, if you struggle with sales or trying to figure it out, so think about this. I was one of the first people to join on LinkedIn. I joined LinkedIn when there was about 4 million members. I was literally in the there's over 500 million people on it now. I was in the first 1% of the people that jumped on LinkedIn. I did a lot of trial and error using LinkedIn to try to figure out what worked and what didn't work. And I still to this day do the same thing. It's taken tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to figure this stuff out. And you're getting it for $19 a month. Highly recommend. Take a look at it. bit.ly/LinkedIn membership site, membership_site to do it. Anyone that signed up for the webinar today, I will send an email out that will actually send that link to you as well. Last but not least, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, chris@salestipaday.com. And last but not least, my phone number, 403-630-1243. Just checking to see if there's any questions I see on LinkedIn. Wow, I got a lot of people that joined, or not LinkedIn, on Facebook. Let's see. Hey, Corey Price, how's it going, buddy? D. Choi, good to see you. Mike Jackson, how much do I bench? I bench 2 of you, buddy. You like my weight bench in the back. You should come see. This is like my little man cave. I've got my TV up front here. I got that going back there. It's awesome. John Lutweiler, how you doing? Jason Curry, hey, good to see hear from you, Jason. Hope all is well. Paula, how you doing? Congrats on the new addition to the family. Brian Manko, you're my hero. Hey, Kirk Hamilton, it's my long lost brother. And Scott Shipley, how you doing? Hey, Roland Laboon. Good to see that you joined as well. And Todd Harder. So I got quite a few people showed up on that. Periscope, I have no idea how many people showed up on that one, but I got a following of about 30,000 people, so I'm sure a few people showed up on that. Hey, anyone that showed up on Facebook, if you want a replay of this, or anyone on Periscope, reach out to me, Chris@SalesTipAday, and I'll send you the link for the replay. Anyone who joined today, if you signed up for this in the last month, you'll get a replay notice. Anyone who came because of other ways, just reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to send the replay to you as well. Roland Laboon, I got to talk to you, so I'll give you a call later today. I need to ask you a question as well. Anyways, everybody, thanks a ton for showing up, and it doesn't look like I have any questions coming in from anywhere. Nope. All good. And so we're going to close this off. Thanks a ton. Do this every month. Hey, October 17th, just to throw that out there one last time, let me get that link. And it is bit.ly/October 17th. So OCT 17_9 a.m. Sorry, I couldn't make it any easier to remember. But that is my next webinar I'm doing, and tons of stuff to learn in that one as well. Thanks a ton, everyone on Facebook Live. Thanks a ton, everyone on Periscope, and thanks a ton for everyone that showed up on the Hangout today and all that stuff. So appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Very grateful for that. And everyone have a wonderful day.